Hello and welcome. You're with us here on a fresh new edition of CNBC-TV18 Prime's Global Reset. I'm Prashant Nair. On this brand new edition of the Global Reset, we plan on discussing a whole range of news flow that happened last evening and through the night. Let me begin with news from the U.S. After months of criticizing the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, U.S. President Donald Trump took the fight to the Fed's front door, quite literally. You can see him walking through the Federal Reserve's renovation work. The visit, which is the first by a sitting U.S. president in roughly 2 decades, was initiated to tour the site of a $2.5 billion renovation of the Federal Reserve's 2 historical buildings. At the site, President Trump and Fed Chair Powell had an on-camera disagreement over the renovation costs. Just for context, if you've not been following the story, President Trump, of course, started with his criticism of Fed Chair Powell keeping rates too high, and then he's kind of sort of pivoted over the last many weeks to say that too much money is being spent on renovation, which could be done at a much lower cost. Listen in.
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about $3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a 3rd building, is what that is. That's a 3rd building.
Well,
including
no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's
So,
not new.
So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional cost overruns?
Don't expect them. We're ready for them, but we have a little bit of a reserve that we may use, but no, we don't. We expect to be finished in 2027.
I mean, absolutely iconic scenes, right? I mean, U.S. President of the U.S. and the chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve disagreeing on camera over renovation costs. So I don't see that very often. Well, U.S. President Trump once again, pushed the U.S. Federal Reserve to lower interest rates, but also added that the U.S. economy was thriving. After Trump left the venue, he added that, asking the Fed chair to go, basically firing Fed Chair Powell, would not be necessary, and that he thinks the chair would do the right thing. And that's a quote.
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates, but other than that, what can I tell you? The country is doing really well. I just briefed the chairman on the deal we made with Japan. Japan is putting up $550 billion in order to lower their tariffs a little bit. That way they have a little bit lower tariff. It's wonderful. And we're doing pretty well with the European Union, likewise. And we have some others. They're all really big, and our country is going to make a lot of money. We would be helped if interest rates would come down, but we're going to see how the board rules on that soon. I'd love to see them come down a lot. But we have a country that's thriving. We had a dead country 1 year ago. Today we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I have one dispute, and the dispute is there could be some things with money and, where it comes from, how it's come from, how it's printed, where it's printed, all of the standard things with the Fed. But I just want to see one thing happen. Very simple. Interest rates have to come down. If the interest rates don't come down, we're knocking it out of the park with high interest rates. If interest rates come down, then that final little element kicks in, that's housing. To do that is a big move, and I just don't think it's necessary. And I believe that he's going to do the right thing. I believe that the chairman is going to do the right thing. I mean, it may be a little too late, as the expression goes, but I believe he's going to do the right thing.
Well, I think that's a very clear sort of push, nudge, whatever you want to call it. He's going to do the right thing. And the right thing, of course, is lowering interest rates, isn't it? Now, moving on to news closer home, the much-awaited India-UK free trade agreement has been signed. It has been in the works for over 3 years, with talks starting in January of 2022. The United Kingdom has seen 4 prime ministers since talks first started. Commerce ministers of both nations signed the agreement. The visuals are on your screen. It is estimated to boost bilateral ties between the 2 nations by about $35 billion and bring down the tariff guardrails to a large degree. Products from the UK, including soft drinks, cosmetics, cars, medical devices and Scotch whisky, will get cheaper. The deal is also going to unlock access of financial and business services for both the countries. Tariffs on cars manufactured in UK would gradually be cut to 10% under a quota-based system. The United Kingdom has opened its market for India's labour-intensive goods, which will include leather and footwear, textiles, engineering goods, fertilizers, chemicals and petrochemicals. Agriculture exports to Britain are also likely to increase by over 20% in the next 3 years. We, in fact, spoke with corporate leaders, India Inc., and this is, telecom czar Sunil Bharti Mittal and the CEO of Mahindra & Mahindra, Anish Shah, to understand what the deal with the United Kingdom means for Indian businesses, which sectors are likely to benefit. Listen in.
I must applaud the leadership of both the prime ministers to finally come together to get to a conclusion of this historic deal. This, to my mind, could actually set up a real roadmap for many other such deals with the Western world. And today, you could see in that room, in the very intimate setting at Chequers, a tremendous amount of energy between both the sides, bonhomie, friendship, exchanging commitments between not only the political leaders, but business community to take the trade, investment, and trade both in goods and services to the next level. Be a very special, advantage for India to get access to technologies for its own needs, own markets, but more importantly, exporting across the world. I personally feel the bigger advantage will come from UK companies investing in India and creating bases in India, which will be high talent pool that they can access, low manufacturing cost, and make the world a market, which I can tell you, having now worked in UK for several years, is hard for UK companies to come to those levels of competitiveness that India can offer them.
All I would say is that it has been done in a manner that really strengthens the auto industry in India and is a win for both countries. That actually put the question the other way around. Is the UK car industry ready for the challenge that we will pose to them by sending cars from India? All I will say is that from what we've seen, it actually has been put together really well. As I understand, there's going to be a 3-year term. I don't have all the details of that as yet. But again, in brief discussions with some of the key leaders here, we feel that it will be a huge step forward in terms of facilitating that movement, making that happen easily, and therefore fostering innovation and a closer partnership in technology across both countries.
Following the signing of the trade deal agreement, India's Commerce Minister spoke exclusively to CNBC and explained how the trade deal would benefit both countries in the coming years. Take a listen.
Plethora of items which are uncompetitive to manufacture in UK today, which India can be a trusted supplier in your supply chains. Likewise, they're very high value medical devices, many products that the UK is known for, high value special medicines, where India can benefit from the UK story. UK also is a largely service-driven economy. Another area where we hope to expand our relations so that all in all, by 2030, we can double our trade. And more importantly, a free trade agreement is also a signal of trust, a signal of enduring partnership, a signal that we now have a stable, predictable regime which encourages investments.
Mr. Piyush Goyal also briefly touched upon where India and US trade talks lie as things stand right now. Negotiations between two countries remain stalled. Listen in.
I think it's a wonderful relationship that the United States and India share, a very special relationship. And I'm very confident we'll do a robust and good deal where both countries benefit and where businesses on both sides are happy. India will get a preferential tariff compared to our peers and our competitors because we were amongst the first to get into negotiations, and our discussions, our engagement is truly very, very significant.
Okay, well, I think all eyes are on that, right? I mean, India and US, where do things stand, and what really happens on the 1st of August, which is basically, later towards the end of next week. Will tariffs go up? Will they remain the same? It's a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe we hear something, but that's the big one as we are heading into the weekend as well. Tariff and trade-related headlines as the 1st of August deadline approaches. Well, that is all the news and global updates that we wanted to sort of get to you. But what we're going to do is we're going to be diving into a specific theme. The theme that we are going to be getting to on the other side is building up India's indigenous military capabilities. And we're going to focus on UAVs, drones in particular. We'll get you a conversation with a foreign company collaborating with an Indian company. I mean, we speak often about Indian drone manufacturing companies, but here we thought, why not get you a perspective of a technology tie-up. So George El Aily, a director of CYGR France, and Raj Chodankar, chairman and CEO of the RRP Group, they announced a tie-up recently, and we sort of get you a broad analysis of what they see as far as opportunities and challenges go. Coming up. The post-Operation Sindoor era has made one thing crystal clear. Drones are no longer peripheral to modern warfare. They are the front line. Operation Sindoor was the first time we saw indigenous drone platforms play a central role in live military operations. From battlefields to borders, drones have emerged as the defining military technology of the modern era. From long-range surveillance and loitering munitions to swarming kamikaze drones and anti-drone defenses, India is now rapidly moving to building scale, sophistication and self-reliance in unmanned systems. Just over the last few weeks, to give you a sense of the flurry of developments which actually have taken place, the Indian Army is preparing drone orders worth about $250 million across surveillance, attack and anti-drone categories. RAFE, an Indian company, has raised about $100 million from marquee investors like General Catalyst. They're, of course, going to be working on swarming and indigenous autopilot systems as well. A new defense procurement framework tailored for drones is expected by this September. 120-odd crore rupees in PLI incentives have been unlocked for drone and component makers. And, of course, another company, Garuda Aerospace, is gearing up for a 100 crore rupee fundraise, followed by a potential IPO. But what do the global defense tech players make of this momentum here in India? Joining us today are two people who are intimately sort of familiar with technology and, of course, defense as a space as well. We've got CYGR, which is a Franco-American technology group that's making its Indian entry through a strategic partnership with RRP Defense. CYGR specializes in everything from long-range UAVs to nano drones, AI-driven swarms, and electronic border control systems as well. Their partnership with the Indian entity, RRP Defense, is via a dedicated entity which has been named Vimananu Limited. RRP will own about 91% stake, and CYGR is the other entity, will own the rest of this share in this new entity. We'll speak about the opportunity, the challenges, and what India must do to become a true drone tech powerhouse. So let's take this conversation forward. We have, as I said, the co-founder of CYGR, George El Aily, who's with me. George, welcome to the program. And Raj Chodankar is founder of the RRP Group, which, of course, is going to be owning that 90% of this new venture which is being set up. Mr. Chodankar, great to have you with us here on the program as well.
Morning.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
So tell us about this partnership, George, and what brings you to India? What potential do you see here? What's the state of play as you see? And what are you bringing to the table?
We are quite excited about this partnership. We come here because of the existing ecosystem in terms of manufacturing. We bring innovation, we bring cutting-edge technology in terms of telecommunications, robotics, avionics, and artificial intelligence. Coupled with the manufacturing capabilities of RRP, we believe we will have a powerful sovereign technology coming out of India, with advanced intelligence that will be able to compete at the furthest edge of technology, whether in the UAV sectors, whether in the telecommunication sectors, and so on and so forth. So what we are bringing is a sovereign technology, an indigenous technology that will be able to serve the Indian market as well as export overseas.
So this agreement allows for a transfer of technology to this new entity?
There will be a transfer of technology and there will be an R&D center. Our cooperation will pivot on 3 axes. First of all will be the R&D part, the innovation part. There will be the manufacturing part, and there will be the academical part where we will be forming students and future researchers to be innovative themselves. So we are addressing the whole ecosystem to create an opportunity for new talents and to have a full sovereign...
And the entire thing is going to be made here? Because one of the things which we pick up often is that, you know, the ecosystem is there, but a lot of the parts are basically imported.
Absolutely.
I mean, the way regulations are also structured is, I mean, import of drones is banned, but the import of parts continues. So it's kind of upside down. Do you plan to make everything here?
We are targeting so that it's a full-fledged production out of India. Basically, we have all the components, we have all the know-how. It will be a full-fledged Indian technology.
Mr. Chodankar, tell us from your perspective, what do you see with this partnership?
I think this is, first, good afternoon. Ideally, I think this is going to be a very win-win situation for India, aiming towards being self-reliant, mainly because the technology related to drones is very evolving. Anything that you buy a technology now, 6 months later may be obsolete, or there may be upgrades. So what this partnership has assured us is that they will not only produce what is needed, but at the same time there is a dedicated R&D which continues to upgrade the systems. And this R&D will be for the next 7 years, which means that we have just taken care of being assured that we will be self-reliant in India. And with that, we will be having a very transparent equation with the buyers, where we will show that everything right from the fin to the housing to the motor to the software will be 100% indigenized.
That's the other thing, right? I mean, you need to have some autonomy. I mean, if you're going to be using Chinese drones, and in times of conflict, I mean, can you really depend on and I think that's what Operation Sindhu really showed.
Yes, exactly.
That's why there's a flurry of activity. I mean, across that entire Bangalore, Hyderabad sort of sector belt, when I speak to companies, I mean, small companies are tying up with global firms and kind of sort of, you know, getting all that technology here in India.
I think what happens is, you know, the heart of the drone, which is, George will agree, is the engine. That's going to be made in India. And more importantly, the association is going to help us in offering it at a much subsidized rate.
Is this meant for, because in India, actually there's only one big buyer, the government of India, Defense Forces. I mean, is that going to be your customer, or is this exports largely?
No, we'll have broader segments. So while we're catering to this, the army requirements, we're also going into logistics. We're also going into surveillance. And we are going to do, and I mean, so 30 to 40% will be segregated to the commercial side of the market as well. But the biggest aspect this technology is going to bring into India is not only the latest state of the art, but at the same time it will be almost 30% cheaper.
I see.
That's going to be the bottom
aim.
line. Yeah, that's the aim. That's the aim, actually.
Josh, talk to us about technology. I mean, as you see it, and you must have studied what is on offer
yes.
in the market. How are you? What is the technology that you're going to be getting here, which is not here already?
Basically, in our development, we focus on 3 axis, as I mentioned before. We have the robotics, the avionics, where we have significant edge in terms of stability, in terms of speed of the birds, in terms of the intelligence, and taking into consideration the ecosystem of the flight. We have the telecommunication sectors, where we are significantly ahead. We have new technologies, and we're experts in telecom, and this gives us an edge in terms of providing techniques to combat jamming and so forth and so on. And the third aspect is AI, artificial intelligence, where as well it allows us to deal with several matters that cannot be dealt with.
Tell us a little bit about CYGR itself, George. I mean, is it a platform? Do you do any manufacturing of your own in France? I mean, or is this? I mean, do you provide technology? I mean, is that what you do? Technology as a service.
CYGR is a Franco-American entity or group, and in addition to technology, we do manufacture our own components. We even manufacture some of the most sensitive components in-house. So we pride ourselves for being totally sovereign, and basically we control our supply chain. We do bring technology as well. We like to look out ourselves as being an engineering company, an innovative company that is able to deal with any upcoming or new challenges that need to be addressed in a quick time, and to be able to find solutions that do not exist. And this is our strong point. This is what differentiates us from other technology groups. And today, with the advancement of technology and with the world going to the geopolitical situation that we are seeing, we see new threats, new challenges coming up in literally on monthly basis, and you need to have the engineering and the research capabilities for being able to address these challenges in a record time.
Does CYGR already sell to governments?
Yes, we do sell to governments.
To the French armed forces and others?
There are things that we cannot disclose, but we are involved in, under various entities, we've been around for more than 20 years selling technologies in the various sectors, in telecom, in UAV, and in other sectors.
Okay. Mr. Chodankar, one of the things that I've heard from many is that, and maybe that will change, that, you know, it's very difficult to put a number on the so-called TAM, total market size, with regards to UAVs and drones here in India, because the fact that there's only one buyer and purchases can be lumpy. I mean, suddenly there's a very large tender which comes in, like the $250 million that I was talking about.
Yes.
And then sort of, you know, things go quiet for a while. But do you think that will change after what we've seen, and this kind of becomes a more predictable sector from an investor point of view?
Yes, I would say yes, because I think what has happened is, I think the most effective solution in this entire unrest is the drone. And what is happening is that it is continuously challenging the anti-drone. As a result of which drones are getting more smarter and they are getting more effective. And hence I feel that this market will continue, and because and which is where, you know, we feel that we'll be the first movers because we continue to have a dedicated R&D. With all due respect, most of the drone companies obviously come with either part technology or, you know, they don't have the complete technology, and they don't have a dedicated continuous R&D. It's okay for some systems, you know, where like in surveillance that we are in electro-optics. We are fine to have a technology and then we work on it through our software. But I think in drones, I think this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, because the entire world is going to unrest. And we are also not talking generally, with all due respect, we are also, there's a lot of export business coming also our way, and which is going to help the government in terms of export credit incentives. I think that's why I think it is the most important segment now. And we basically, because we got our expertise in mechanical and electronics, and with our semiconductor setup, it is really going to help us build the chips for this technology in-house actually. So that will make it a complete 100% indigenized solution.
Are we talking about the mail technology as well, with regards to, I mean like the
medium altitude,
famous, you know, the Predator program in the US and those kind of, are we talking about those as well? We hear about those once in a while, that companies are trying to do it. And I think there was a program as well, but is that?
We have many things on the table that we cannot disclose today, but we have a solid partnership. We are an advanced group in terms of technology, and we are not only targeting the defense sector. We have as well other sectors. To answer to your question with regards to the market size, we have significant advancement in the agricultural side. On the agricultural side, on the delivery sides, in serving telemedicines or in serving in administrating, providing solutions for vaccinations in remote areas, medical emergencies. So it's a whole market, a whole ecosystem, and it's limited by our imagination to what we can service and what we can create in terms of application. And I think the size of the Indian market alone is enormous, and we will be as well exporting globally.
Globally as well. I wish both of you the best of luck. Thank you very much for coming down, explaining all of this to us, George and Mr. Chodankar.
Pleasure.
I really appreciate it. And I think this will be the first of many visits for you, George.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
I think this will be, we'll do this more often as you.
Gladly. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think that is, two players and really a flurry of activity as far as the UAV's drone space is concerned. And I think we will continue to report on the sector as we go along.